Good morning, everybody. It is 7:23 a.m. Eastern here. And let's talk. Let's talk Nancy Guthrie and Lynnette Hooker. Most of you know I'm a psychic medium, and I've been remote viewing and following quite extensively, especially Nancy Guthrie and Lynnette Hooker. And I just want to talk for a second about what you don't know about me behind the scenes, and how hard this is on my body physically. So we're going to do some updates today, but today I'm not going to do any remote viewing because just my body needs rest. My body absolutely needs rest from this case. But I do want to talk about remote viewing, what it is, why I use it, why I believe in it, why I cried a lot when I heard they didn't get Lynette's remains, when I heard her parents being interviewed on Ashley Banfield and her father saying that he wasn't surprised that they didn't find her remains because Brian is the well, the person that would try to deliberately screw up the route that they thought they were tracing. And the fact that they didn't go to Snappers Marina, where I thought they might go, or was hoping they would go, where Carly said they would go, where I pinned Lynette's remains. It's devastating on my body. It's really hard. And while I may look okay today, because a lot of you say, you look great on the last video, thank you for your beautiful comments. And thank you to all of you who like, share, and subscribe and hype. I just want you to know when I take my down days, I'm not thinking about the cases. I'm just literally in full recovery. I didn't move all weekend from my bed. First time I put clothes on for you this morning in 3 days because I was just bloody exhausted after my remote viewing. I've had health issues lately, and it takes a toll on me. And then when the results are not what you hope, I also asked you if I should resubmit to the FBI. So I am going to resubmit another report to the FBI. Tell me below what you think I should say. But I just need you to know it's not that I'm giving up. It's not that I'm not around behind the scenes. My body needs to recover. And it's hard. It's really hard. And to do this work, to not be taken seriously, is also hard. And to expect authorities, I've given up to expect authorities to take me seriously. I'm going to do one last report to the FBI on Nancy Guthrie, which will be much more in depth than the first time I did my report in February. And then we're going to go back. So let me just tell you the week. We're just talking today. It's Monday. It's Monday, June 8th. Wednesday, I'm going to go back. Remember I said I was going to trace the roots for Nancy with my Reiki. So we're going to do that. And by the way, this is a pillow behind me because I sit comfortably in my bed. Just because it's a comfortable spot for me. Sorry, not sorry. I'm going to, so today we're just talking Wednesday, Thursday, Nancy, I'm going to retrace the roots. And Saturday, I'm going back to Jack and Lily. And thank you for all of you. We have $220 raised. Saturday, I'm going to mention who helped me raise the money for my trip out east to go look for Jack and Lily. So let's get into it. Let's talk. This video is sponsored by Psychic Source. And as most of you know, I'm a psychic medium. This is not a hobby for me. This is generally how I move through the world every day. And it's how I do this work on Nancy Guthrie and on every case I bring to you. I've actually worked for another company in this space before, so I know this industry from the inside. So when Psychic Source reached out to partner with me in this channel, I wanted to say yes immediately for all of you because I get it. And I know the difference between a platform that takes this seriously and one that doesn't. Psychic Source has been around for over 30 years. They screen every single advisor on their platform. These are not random people on the internet. These are vetted, reviewed psychics, and they offer readings by phone, by chat, or by video, whatever feels right for you. And they have a satisfaction guarantee, which I love because that tells you something about how seriously they take the integrity of their readers. If you've been sitting with something, a relationship, a decision, a loss, or something you just can't shake, I think it's worth having someone tap in with you. New members get readings starting as low as 60 cents a minute. And since you pay by the minute, you decide how long to chat based on your budget. No pressure, no packages, no waiting for answers either. Get help immediately by clicking on the link below. Try psychicsource.com/motive.means and let me know if you get a hit that blows your mind because I generally want to hear about it. Okay, thanks for listening. Let's get back to Nancy Guthrie. So, first thing up, Savannah's new post. Savannah posted something new about Nancy. Let's watch it really briefly.
It has now been 127 days since the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Investigators continue to sift through clues as they work to find answers. And this afternoon, Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie took to social media to once again post about her mom. In an Instagram story today that includes a picture of religious artwork, Savannah wrote, "Oh my soul, it cries out, soul. It cries out, bring her home." It's now been more than 4 months since her mom went missing, and today our cameras were back in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood as the shrine to Nancy that was up at the curb at her home for more than 4 months has been taken down. The 84-year-old Guthrie was believed to have been abducted from her Catalina Foothills home near Campbell and Skyline in the middle of the night back on February 1st. Investigators have still not revealed a motive or a suspect. Pima County deputies and the FBI say it's never too late to call with information. And those numbers are right there on your screen. If you have any information in this case, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI or 88.
This case is so frustrating. I truly, truly in my heart was hoping that I would have been solved by now. Devastating. And in the meantime, you got Nanos. Have you seen that interview he did? And then immediately the next day, Kash Patel basically calls him a LAIR. Pinocchio nose. You know what I mean? What the F, man? Dude, I know you're hiding evidence. Okay, let's watch the Nanos' interview, and then I have things I want to say. Well, actually, I have something else I want to show you. Remember how I remote viewed and I told you there were 3 or 4 people? Well, another creator has dug up something fascinating, boys and girls. Very fascinating. Now, there were 4 at the end of the day. Originally, I said 3, and then I saw the 4th. Well, this wonderful creator pulled up some 911 calls. Very interesting. You want to stick around for some of those. So yeah, let's watch the Nanos. What do you think he's trying to say here? I mean, it's really unclear. His messages are all over the place. You tell me if you can figure out this man and what he's saying, not saying, hiding, because we know he's hiding something apparently. According to my remote viewing, yours truly is hiding some evidence from the FBI, and I really actually believe that. I really do. When I get my remote views, I believe them. I truly, truly believe them. So let's get into the Nanos interview. This was posted June 1st. I know you probably have all seen it. I can't stand him anymore. Like I literally, I just, it's like I really just don't like him anymore. I'm getting like a reaction to even wanting to listen to this tape. Let's listen.
There's more to pain
What?
management than pills. For long-term solutions to control your
It's not just this case. A number of our cases come to us where it requires a lot of work from other people. It's not just a detective goes out there, talks to somebody.
What do you think about a man who talks like so, passionately, if you will, about lies? Lies. I just, not that what he's saying is a lie right in this moment, just everything else he says all the time. But they have a very, very, very low solvable rate. And it's not because they don't have talent. It's because he's put the talent in the closet. And I really am starting to effing loathe him. And I have really tried not to speak out about him, but I can't stop it today. Because today I'm just kind of pissed about the whole thing. I'm pissed. I'm sad with Lynnette. I cried. I cried yesterday about my dad on Sunday. And Saturday I cried when I saw that interview. I'm just, and with Nancy Guthrie, I'm just angry. I'm just fucking frustrated and angry. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. But man, he's such a dork. He's such a dork. And you know what else I'm angry with? I'm going to say it because I've been keeping my mouth shut. I'm angry with some of the people from Pima County, the citizens who are more concerned with annoying the people that are out in front of Nancy's home to keep her face and story in the front of the news, and the law enforcement that are showing up harassing the citizens that are simply trying to keep the story alive. They have more interest in doing that than getting this dork out of office. And that is so fucking annoying. I'm sorry. I know one of you watches me from Tucson, Arizona, and I'm not directing this at you, but y'all, you need to get your shit together, community. You have got your priorities fucked and backwards. Effing backwards. I'm sorry. I had to say it. I've been holding it in for a long time. Those residents are making me sick. The ones that are complaining because there's somebody's little chair is on the road this fucking much. Are you kidding me, you dorks? I hope karma doesn't come and bite your asses and somebody incompetent like this asshole that you guys are not getting rid of, which you should have. You should have showed up in droves to city council and complaining about this arrogant, lying little mother effer. And you should have demanded a new vote and a new sheriff because he's an idiot. And God willing, any of you that are complaining because a little fucking chair is this much on the road, may you not lose your loved one and have this little idiot ass in charge of the case. Sorry, rant over. Man, oh man. Karma, she's a bitch.
And we can make an arrest. This is a very sensitive case, but what really makes it prolonged is we do rely on labs.
No, what makes it prolonged,
for the digital.
What makes it prolonged is you. You're the effing idiot that has prolonged this case. You and you alone, Nanos. You are the responsible idiot for this disaster. You and you alone. You, because of your narcissistic, idiotic personality, took your talent and benched them because your arrogant little effing ass couldn't take it. Couldn't take anybody that dared to question you. God, I help. Please, your wife, I wonder about her. I wonder what it's really like living with you. God almighty. I'm sorry. Today, I got to talk. I got to get this out of my system. And it's going to be a little bit of a rant. Sorry. Not sorry.
Part of this case, which is very critical. Labs for our DNA, which is also very critical. But when you're looking at those labs and the work they do, you have a science there, and science has rules that it has to go by.
Really? Wow, that was just breathtaking. Really, that's so enlightening. at a lab, you have science there. Really? No, I thought maybe it was art at a lab. Like, what the fuck, Nanos? You are just such a tool. Thank God there's only a few more seconds left because I really loathe him now. Now that I've seen what he's doing, he's hiding shit from the FBI. I really don't like him. Let's go.
Even though it's not DNA, they'll tell you isn't an exact science. It's 99% plus. So it's pretty close, but you still have to follow rules. They have protocol.
Says the man that arrested 2 people like it was a TV series show with SWATs and everybody, and is still refusing to let their lawyers know under what conditions they were arrested. Oh, come on. We really got to do this right and follow the rules. You want to follow the rules? Oh my God, I'm going to vomit right on the spot. You want to follow the rules? OMG. Oh, sorry, everybody. When I'm done with him, I'm going to calm down. We've got, unfortunately, we have another 56 seconds of this tool to listen to.
Because you don't want to jeopardize not just the integrity of this case, but the integrity of DNA as a supplement to law enforcement work. And to be honest, take it to the other side, the criminal justice process. We have rules we have to go by too. Constitution, laws, things of that nature, rules of the court, those all guide us. And so if I were to say there's a positive to this, it is that people are working.
Oh, you mean they're doing their jobs? You mean they're getting paid to work and they're working? Well, that's a novel idea. I mean, you mean you got them out from having salad and bonbons and coffees around the coffee shops? I mean, give me a break. People are working. Well, I would effing hope at the very minimum they're being paid to work. Like, oh God, he's an idiot.
Doing their best to stay within those rules so that they have that understanding that, look, nobody.
You mean your wild canyons don't want to break the law and beat people up like you? You don't want to beat people up to the point where they almost die like you? Are you trying to rein them in, Mr. Nanos? Is that what you're saying? Oh, God.
Wants to arrest the wrong person.
Not the third time. We learned from the first 2. We learned from the first 2 that the public is watching and it's really not a good idea for me. People are criticizing me now. We really don't want to do that again, do we?
Want to make sure that DNA doesn't just identify a suspect. It also exonerates those who are innocent.
Yeah.
Hey, Tucson Water, what's my tip of the day?
Exonerate those that are innocent. Who do you think he's talking about? Who do you think he's talking about? Who is he trying to exonerate that's innocent, I wonder? God, he's such a jerk. Okay. I told you we're going to talk. This is going to be a different video today. Let's watch that brilliant creator. First, let me remind you what I said. So for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know I said that I saw 4 people. I'm going to show you Kash Patel's brief response to the idiot, which he did immediately after the idiot did his last interview we just watched. And then we're going to show you another creator's beautiful findings. And you tell me if you think it's related or not. Okay, let's watch Kash's immediate response to the Nanos.
I'm Christine Frizzell. Tonight, the Pima County Sheriff's Department in Arizona is pushing back against claims they sidelined the FBI in the initial days of the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. There are still few clues about the whereabouts of the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, and FBI Director Kash Patel now says things should have been done differently. Nearly 100 days and still few leads in a criminal case that gripped the nation. The mysterious disappearance of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy. from her Tucson, Arizona home. FBI Director Kash Patel now blaming the Pima County Sheriff's Office in Arizona for its initial handling of the case.
The first 48 hours of anyone's disappearance are the most critical. What we, the FBI, do is say, hey, we're here to help. What do you need? What can we do? And for 4 days, we were kept out of the investigation.
Sheriff Chris Nanos denying the claims in a post online stating the FBI was promptly notified by both our department and the Guthrie family. And while the FBI director was not on scene, coordination with the Bureau began without delay. According to Patel, it was the FBI that was able to find this video from Nancy Guthrie's Nest doorbell camera, the chief suspect who remains at large.
That's why you have that image, because the FBI worked with Google to put that image out.
He also slammed the decision to send DNA evidence, a strand of hair found inside the home, to a private lab in Florida rather than to Quantico, Virginia.
We have Quantico, best lab in the world. I had a fixed-wing aircraft on the ground ready to move it immediately through the night.
Did they just say no?
And they said, we're sending it to Florida.
The Pima County Sheriff's Office said the labs have worked together to analyze the evidence. Patel himself also criticized for his handling of the case, including bragging about a break in the case 2 weeks in.
We are looking at people who, as we say, are persons of interest.
This man telling a local ABC station he had never heard of Nancy Guthrie when he was arrested before then being released.
The FBI and the Pima County detective arrived and they told me, well, you're being detained for kidnapping, and all of a sudden they read me my Miranda rights.
Kash Patel's criticisms of the sheriff's office have resurrected questions about just how much local law enforcement should work hand in hand with the feds, also serving as a reminder that Nancy Guthrie is still missing with no suspects and no new leads. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
So that was a reminder of what he said originally with his interview with Hannity. But this came, like I said, the interview was June 1st. I don't know when it was actually done with Nanos, but the second interview was June 1st. And this, in response, was posted June 5th. Kash Patel doubles down on claims that local authorities in Nancy Guthrie's case delayed FBI help. We continue to offer assistance. So he's just disagreeing with him again. The Pima County Sheriff's Office disagrees, saying the FBI was contacted promptly about Guthrie. Well, who do you believe? I mean, I know Patel has been under a little bit of scrutiny lately, but I really am leaning on Patel for who I trust and believe in this case. I don't think Kash Patel would come out, especially right now when he is under scrutiny, and bring himself into this mix without good cause. We already know Nanos is not credible and not believable. So I think that it just goes without saying. For myself personally, you decide. I believe Kash Patel. So he's saying the key points are that he's doubling down on earlier claims that the Federal Bureau of Investigation had immediately offered its assistance to local authorities in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Nancy, the mother of Today's Show anchor Savannah Guthrie, was last seen January 31st and was reported missing the following day. We know somebody out there knows, said Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos in a recent interview. Kash Patel doubling down on previous claims that the Federal Bureau of Investigation immediately offered assistance to, but were shut out by local authorities in the search for Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show anchor Savannah Guthrie. The FBI director said on Friday, today's Monday, that the federal agency showed up immediately to support the investigation, telling News Nation that they were not let in for 4 days. This is contrary to statements from the Pima County Sheriff's Office that the FBI was promptly notified about the case. And that their choice, Patel said, we continue to offer assistance. I even visited our Tucson office where we had 150 agents and analytics working on the Nancy Guthrie case to provide intelligence. I remember that. Do you remember that? Patel also mentioned the evidence that they found from Nancy's doorbell camera, calling it what the FBI is great at. We went to our partners at Google and we said, hey, we know that there is a paid subscription service, that there was a paid subscription service. I thought there wasn't, but let's go look at the metadata and see if we can find a needle in a haystack. And what do we do? And we pull that out, says Patel. Same thing with the DNA. We offered our assistants to go test the DNA, and it's up to them. And they chose to use a private laboratory, he added. There's the idiot. Patel noted that any childhood abduction or missing persons case, you need the first 48 hours to hit the ground hard. And again, the state, local agencies are in charge of that investigation. We, the FBI, don't take ownership of that, he said. The FBI director concluded that the federal agency continues to offer assistance now and in the future, but it can work really well if state and local enforcement work together. In response to Patel's claims, the Pima County Sheriff's Department told Entertainment Weekly that the facts have not changed since its May 5th statement regarding the Patel's initial claims made during our appearance on the Hangout with Sean Hannity podcast. The statement reads that the Sheriff's Department was aware of the FBI Director Kash Patel's recent interview statement. Sheriff Nanos responded to the scene the night of the incident, providing immediate local leadership and oversight. A member of the FBI task force was also notified and present at the scene, working alongside our personnel, the statement reads. The department noted that the FBI was informed promptly by both authorities and that the Guthrie family, while the FBI director was not on scene, the coordination with the Bureau began without delay. The statement continued. Well, Guthrie was last seen the evening of January 31st by family members when she was dropped off at her home at the Tucson Catalina foothills. She was reported missing the following day. Authorities declared her a crime scene within days. Well, that's not good enough within days. You're supposed to do this within the hours. You see, this is the problem, Nanos. What you think is acceptable is not. Declaring it a crime scene within days, even by your own words, is a failure, is an epic failure. That, my so-called sheriff, should have happened within hours. While giving an update in this case in the recent interview 4 months into the investigation, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos insisted that somebody out there knows. No kidding. You are so brilliant. Okay, let's get at this crazy 911 call and tell me what you think. Well, boys and girls, listen to what Daphne's case files has to share. She posted this 2 days ago. Listen in.
New details in the Nancy Guthrie case update today. 2 separate incidents, one prior to Nancy's disappearance and one after her pacemaker disconnected.
Okay, look at the dates here. Look at the dates.
We're going to dig into.
Look at the time stamps on the
and
8 to 8:30 the night before. 8 to 8:30 the night before. Now, remember what I told you when I did my remote viewing? They were already in the house. 3 of them were already in the house. The second one, look at the time.
One after her pacemaker.
2:30 to 3 a.m. After the pacemaker disconnected, 2 911 calls. Listen in.
You're disconnected. This can't be a coincidence. We're going to dig into these masked men witnessed by the police less than 5 miles away from Nancy's house.
Yes, you heard it. The effing police had eyes on a masked person 5 miles from Nancy's home. What are the odds? What are the odds? Is this what Nanos is hiding? Is this why he slipped up when he said, remember he said January 31st, the case started, not February 1st? Oh my God, I got validation. Goosebumps. Whoa. Remember his slip? Oh my God, this has got to be my full-on body goosebumps here. This is relevant. I also told you, for those that you've been following me for a while and following me throughout this entire case, I also told you at the very, very onset, I felt this perp walked. I felt they walked, one of them at least. The guy on the porch walked a good distance. Let's listen in. The fact that I just got goosebumps as I'm saying this tells me this is relevant. Let's go.
Also, why doesn't the Pima County Sheriff's Department want anyone outside of Nancy's home documenting, live streaming, Now they're nitpicking where they can actually sit. I have the Pima County maps that I want to show you where the actual parcel line is and where the road starts. That way you can get a better look at where you are allowed to sit and document and where you're not. Also, once again, this white Tesla is actually seen driving past Nancy's. You know, the white Tesla that has been witnessed driving into Nancy's driveway has been speaking to the police on several occasions. I honestly believe that this is the private investigator. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. Welcome to Daphne's Case Files. I am your host, Daphne. And as always, click that little bell. It's just right there. That way you are always notified when I upload new content. Okay.
And I want to just take this opportunity to say thank you to all of you. I couldn't do this without you. I appreciate the love and the support. I appreciate the fact that I know at least 2 of you sent my pinned location of Lynnette Hooker, one to Ashley Banfield you sent, and I know somebody else said that they know for a fact it was sent to authorities, despite the fact that apparently they've ignored it and didn't search at Snapper's Point and didn't find her remains. I want to say thank you for all of the love and support and your kind words. I truly, truly appreciate you all. Thank you. Okay, let's get back into this. Because this, my friends, is very interesting. Listen in.
Let's get started. Check this out. So last night we went over it just briefly, and I showed you a few clips of some dispatch. Now, the first dispatch that we listened to was on January 31st, going into February 1st, around the time that Nancy disappeared. But the first one that we listened to was they were speaking about a masked man. Now, this man had white shoes on. He had a backpack. He had a ski mask. He was 6'10". Okay. I mean, I can go on and go on. They said he had a thin mustache. Okay. Dark clothing and some type of like,
I think she means 5'10", not 6'10", but you'll see that out yourself in a second.
dark sweater, like shirt or something like that. That is identical to what our perpetrator that took Nancy.
Being the suspect in wearing all black clothing with a ski mask. Has been laying on the sidewalk.
Okay, look at the date on this. Has been walking on the sidewalk. Okay. This is January 31st, 8:33 p.m. January 31st, 8:33 p.m. Nancy's being taken on her way home. Now, I thought this was Tomato that took her home. In my remote viewing, I see Tomato taking her home. But I also told you I see 2 perps jumping over the fence. And when she gets in the door, they're waiting. I see 3 of them waiting when she gets home. So who was walking? I also told the police originally they should be looking for 3 purchases of the same mask until I saw the 4th person. The police themselves are trying to track a man wearing exactly this stuff. Here's the scanner. I'm going to rewind it, but I want you to notice 8:33 p.m., January 31st. What are the effing odds that Nanos gives the date? Remember when he first slipped and said January 31st? What are the odds that he slips, that they're looking for a masked man the night before, 5 miles out, walking towards Nancy Guthrie's home, and they lose the effort? They lose the effort. Incompetence? Do you think they're trying to hide this? Oh, I think they're trying to hide this. I think they are trying to hide this very, very much. And if Savannah were to know this, I wonder if the shit would hit the fan. Or maybe Savannah does know this, hence why she's not speaking to Nanos anymore. Let's go. I hope this blows up. This needs to blow up. I need your help. We need to get Brian Etten reporting on this. Not that Daphne's not amazing, but we need this to blow up. This evidence needs to blow up. Help me hype and share this. This needs to blow up. These are not coincidences. Listen in. I'm going to rewind and let you listen in full without stopping it this time, but I really needed you to see that timestamp so you understand just exactly how relevant this is. It all makes sense now on why he slipped with the night before. This is complete incompetence, in my opinion. Let's go.
Nancy.
Being the suspect in wearing all black clothing with a ski mask. Callers mingling on the sidewalk.
167. Can you copy suspect description?
167, go ahead.
Lighter Hispanic male, thin build, approximately 5'10", black pants, black sweater, black ski mask, white shoes, thin mustache, and acne on the face.
I do know that someone's Ring camera had actually caught him at one point in time. Now, I went ahead and listened to the rest of the dispatch, and I never heard them actually arrest this guy. This was around the time between 8 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. is what time this actually happened. I went and listened to the rest of the dispatch, and I could not hear them actually make an arrest. It sounded like they had a drone up and everything trying to catch this guy. Now, last night, we went through the maps, and I showed you exactly where the address is, the location for this man that they were speaking about over dispatch was located, and he was moving in the direction towards Nancy's house. Now, if you remember correctly, around 8 to 8:30, Nancy would have been at Annie and Tommaso's for dinner and for game night. Now, Tommaso supposedly was the one that dropped Nancy off that night, and we heard that was around like 9:45-ish. So, if this man is running around 8 to 8:30, he could have definitely hopped in a car or had maybe, some accomplice like pick him up or something like that if there was others around. At one point in the dispatch, it surely sounded like they said suspects, which is more than one. Now, here was another incident after Nancy was taken. So this would have been around the time around 2:30. Nancy's pacemaker app disconnected from her iPhone is what we were told. And between 2:30 and 3 a.m., a child had called into 911 around 4 miles away from Nancy's house,
stating that they tried to call in that there are 3 or 4 subjects in all black with ski masks robbing vehicles. Advised they had a gun.
Can you give a little bit more information on the call?
10-4. I'm taking this right now. They're seeing this from their window. 40.
Direction I took about 83, I'll take 84.
42.
Reference the flag down by the 3 people. It is going to be 2595 North First. So you can hold in the previous call and put me on that level too.
Or it was a text to 911 from the abandoned saying that the caller stated they tried calling but advised that there were 3 or 4 subjects in all black with ski masks robbing vehicles. The advisor were first received the message at 2:26 and they were advising they heard it through the window. There's 3 to 4 subjects in a ski mask, black hoodie, black pants. The call taker is advising that the caller did sound possibly like a child, unknown age. They did speak with the mother. The mother said she didn't hear anything, but the son woke her up to tell her what he saw.
they could have been doing other stuff and he just thought they were breaking into vehicles. They could have been, you know, a child looks out the window and sees somebody with a ski mask on or multiple people. They're automatically going to think that they're robbing vehicles, okay? Unless there's something else that proves otherwise. So the child went to go wake up their mother. And after that, the mother didn't see anything at all. She said, basically, there was nothing there. She didn't see or hear anything, but the child did. So that tells me that the police never actually witnessed or found these 3 people with ski masks on. Now, why am I telling you this? For instance, think about it. If we have perpetrators that are running from the law, okay? They were already onto him at 8:30 and he was running in the direction towards Nancy's and maybe got together with the other guys, other suspects, okay, or jumped in a vehicle with them. They went towards Nancy's area. They could have actually witnessed Nancy being dropped off that night and thought, well, hey, that's an elderly woman that lives there. We could actually hide out there, or maybe they were there robbing. Oh, I forgot to add the first guy and the second perps in both of the dispatches both had sidearms. So we know our perp absolutely did. So if they actually were the ones that took Nancy, then the child could have actually witnessed the perpetrators taking her. Let's look into this. This is the address to where our first guy that we heard on.
Okay. By the way, before we look at the map, it explains why they arrested the guy south. What do you think so far, y'all? Do you think, I'm especially interested in the one before. I think the child saying that they thought they were robbing cars. I don't know. Did they steal a car as a getaway car? I don't know. But no, I don't think so. But I think Daphne is probably correct that the child thought they were stealing a car. I don't really know if that one is related, but the first one definitely feels more related. Or at least to me, I think the first one for sure is unquestionably related. I didn't get goosebumps on the second one, but that doesn't mean it's not related. Let's keep listening as Daphne pins it on the map for us. Let's go.
Dispatch, okay? And it's over here off of a road called East Timrod Street. And this masked man was kind of running in and out of the roads here. You could hear him talking on dispatch. Then he was over in this area here off of East 14th Street. Already done the measurement on this, and it's 7 miles away. So Nancy's would be this direction here. It's 7 miles away. This was between 8 and 8:30 that this perpetrator was spoken about on dispatch, matching like exactly how the masked man looked that came to Nancy's door.
Again, just want to remind you, I said at the very beginning, I felt walked in from a distance. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Okay, let's keep going. We're going to watch a few more minutes.
Now, after the fact, after Nancy was taken or after her pacemaker disconnected, not too far away, this is 4 miles from Nancy's, a child had woke up between the hour of 2:30 a.m. and 3 a.m. on going into February 1st, early morning. He called 911, said there's 3 masked men with a sidearm outside of his building. When he went to wake his mother up, they were gone. Could this just be a coincidence? I don't know. but I've listened to some other dispatch, and this is just too coincidental that they describe the masked men almost exactly like Nancy's perpetrator. Now, check this out. Last night, there was an incident.
Okay, let's just go back. I forgot to add it to the screen. My apologies. I want to go back and play the dispatch again. I'm going to let you go to Daphne's case files, and if you want to look at the police harassing somebody because he was this much on the road, I mean, he's doing his job, I guess, but they're enforcing these petulant little children of the community. And it's sad. It's really sad because we know this case is dying out, and we know that without the face of Nancy on the front page news, that this case is going to fade out like others do. And still, we have no answers as to what happened to Nancy. So you can go ahead and watch this some more. I'm going to go back and play one last time the dispatch calls, and you tell me if you think they're relevant. Three or four subjects. Now I see the print here on the screen. The little kid, the child says 3 or 4 suspects. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to find you the location and come back.
January 31st going into February 1st, around the time that Nancy disappeared. But the first one that we listened to was they were speaking about a masked man. Now, this man had white shoes on. He had a backpack. He had a ski mask. He was 6'10". Okay. I mean, I can go on and go on.
5'10".
They said he had a thin mustache. Okay. Dark clothing and some type of like dark sweater, like shirt or something like that. That is identical to what our perpetrator that took Nancy.
Being the suspect in wearing all black clothing with a ski mask. Cars been laying on the sidewalk.
167. Can you copy suspect description?
167, go ahead.
Lighter Hispanic male, thin build, approximately 5'10", black pants, black sweater, black ski mask, white shoes, thin mustache, and acne on the face.
I do know that someone's Ring camera had actually caught him at one point in time. Now, I went ahead and listened to the rest of the dispatch, and I never heard them actually arrest this guy. This was around the time between 8 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. is what time this actually happened. I went and listened to the rest of the dispatch, and I could not hear them actually make an arrest. It sounded like they had a drone up and everything trying to catch this guy. Now, last night, we went through the maps, and I showed you exactly where the address is, the location for this man that they were speaking about over dispatch was located, and he was moving in the direction towards Nancy's house. Now, if you remember correctly, around 8 to 8:30, Nancy would have been at Annie and Tommaso's for dinner and for game night. Now, Tommaso supposedly was the one that dropped Nancy off that night, and we heard that was around like 9:45-ish. So, if this man is running around 8 to 8:30, he could have definitely hopped in a car or had maybe, some accomplice like pick him up or something like that if there was others around.
Okay. Let's talk about Lynnette. So I pinned 3 weeks ago Lynnette Hooker's exact location, where I said I believe it to be that she was laid to rest, if you will, at the Snapper Point Marina. Ay, ay, ay. And I know people sent this because you told me you did to Ashley. And then somebody else recently said it was sent to authorities, but they didn't search there. And regrettably, they didn't find her body. But Carly wanted them to go there. So listen in. Sad. Ashley interviews Carly as the Coast Guard are heading out to search for her body. Carly is hopeful. And this is what she says.
So listen, you're one of the rare people who's actually been to some of those locations that they're searching in the Bahamas. You've been to the Abaco Inn. That's where they were today. You've been all over the water. You've been out sort of in the Lubbers area in the Sea of Abaco. You've been to Marsh Harbor. Do you have any thoughts as you start seeing pictures and video of these guys in the same place now, really, with all the gear and all the manpower?
Yeah, I just have a feeling that she's in the water somewhere with those scuba weights that are missing, but that's just my feeling. So I don't know if she can be on land because I know it's all like limestone and that stuff is really hard to break through. So I feel like she might be in the water.
And if Brian did it, I'm not saying he did because he's not charged yet, but he had to work in the dark and didn't have a whole lot of time, you know?
Yeah.
And so it would be somewhere he'd have to know, because you're not going to go exploring in pitch black with a, 3 horsepower electric engine and an 8-foot dinghy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think she might also be at the Snappa's Inn or wherever, that demolished old marina at the end of the
Snapper Point Marina.
Yep. That could be a place. I remember we went there and we explored around and took some pictures. So
yeah.
I don't know.
They did that a lot.
Yeah, I thought so too, Carly, but they didn't find her remains, regrettably. But listen to what a couple days later, after they went home, Lynnette's stepdad said in the interview Ashley did with her parents, Lynnette's parents. Watch this. Listening to Darlene made me cry. We're going to listen to them, and then I want you to listen to what Lynnette's stepdad says about him being happy they didn't find her remains, because he didn't expect them to find them there, because he expected Brian to try to cover his tracks and send them false flags. And lo and behold, that looks like that's maybe what he did, because while they rumored to have reportedly found lots of great evidence, they didn't find Lynnette. They didn't search Snapper's Point, where Carly wanted them to and where I pinned her.
Darlene, tell me your thoughts now that this operation in the Bahamas is wrapped up.
Well, I definitely believe that the Coast Guard did a heck of a job. I mean, they outdid themselves. So I'm not disappointed in what they had done. I'm pleased with what they have done. I don't think it's over. I want Brian to not sit there with relief. I want him to feel that it's not over. I want him to understand that I'm not going to go away until I find my daughter. And they're not going to go away until they put him in jail. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
TikTok. I usually add something even worse on the end of that. But to that note, Darlene, everything that you learned from the Coast Guard, that map in particular, knowing what he said, what Brian said, and now knowing on the map what he literally did. Tell me your reaction to that, Darlene.
This is somebody that was his soulmate for 25 years, and he was going to stay there forever until he found her. He said he loved her. He did not treat her like he loved her. If he in fact did this to her, he took her last breath and then he threw her away like trash. And I want his family to know that they need to be careful. And I'm going to tell them the same thing I used to tell my daughter every time I hugged her goodbye. Watch your back. That's how I feel.
Understandable.
Before I play the last clip of her stepdad saying he's not surprised they didn't find Lynnette because Brian's the master of deception and probably tracked himself going somewhere where he didn't leave her deliberately. But listen to this too, because I also said I felt that he went south of Lubbert's Island and down into Toulouse and also I pinpointed Baker's Point that I thought he went down to, and they did go down that way from what I understand. But yeah, listen to this. He did go south. He did go directly south, which I said, listen.
In any case, you have to disprove his garbage, right? And so to do that, they traced his steps. Coast Guard traced his entire journey, traced the dinghy route that he took. And I have now learned that his dinghy route
Certainly wasn't what he said it was. Not somebody who's blowing in the breeze with the current and the tide. No. Turns out Brian's dinghy route went across from Elbow Key, across the Sea of Abaco to the north tip of Lovers. That's something he already told us, right? And then, weirdly, it took a sharp turn left. Huh? And started going southward down the coast of Lovers.
Yeah, I had said I thought he went down to the Tahiti Bar area, to Baker's Point. I don't know if he did, but that's what I said. And now Ashley's saying he went south. Okay, let's listen to Stepdad's comment and we'll call it a wrap today. Look on Wednesday and Thursday, I'm going to do Nancy Guthrie's map between now and then. Today's Monday. I'll be resubmitting my report to the FBI, which I'll show you on those days. And Saturday, we're going to go back to Jack and Lily. So let's watch the last statement here of why the stepdad's not surprised they didn't find Lynnette yet.
What do you make of this now that we all suspected, right? We all had an idea. But what do you make of this now that we know? The map shows that he crossed from Elbow Key, past the north tip of Lovers, and then suddenly takes a sharp left turn and heads south down Lovers. That's not somebody who was blowing in the wind.
No. If you'd ask me my personal opinion, I know Brian well enough. I've known him for 25 years. And I, in my own way, I tried to mentor him somewhat. It didn't help much because he's hard at it. But I tried to mentor him in some ways. Brian does things almost like he doesn't play chess, but he knows the game. He's going to be one step, or try to be one step ahead of where he thinks you're going to go. So if he did that, I didn't truly expect them to find anything, because I know Brian well enough to know that if he did that, if he had a position, that he was using that as a diversion. You see this, but I'm really over here. And even if he left the boat in a place for 5 minutes, he could have swam or scuba out to some other area. So I'm not disappointed that they didn't find it. I really didn't expect them to find anything, to be honest. But I need for this to be over.
Yeah.
Wow, he didn't expect for them to find her. And he thinks he deliberately, knowing Brian, set them on the wrong course. Will volunteers, as somebody posted here, thank you, Jay Zimmer, for telling me that you know for a fact that my pinning location for Lynnette was sent to authorities. Apparently they ignored. Not surprising, which is why this work is so hard, but that volunteers may go out to Snappers Point Marina, which is also where Carly asked for searches to be done. I'm praying, if I'm right, that somebody goes out and looks out there. Thank you for being here, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday for Nancy Guthrie, part 2 and part 3 of when I go through the map of where I pinpoint with my Reiki hands the trail out the kidnappers used. Love and light, everybody. Thanks for being here. Stay safe. Be well.